This is a type of video you want in your life, you just don't know it yet. Welcome back to our second mid-season blind camera test featuring the majority of the best phones released this year. Just like our previous video, we asked you on our YouTube community page, our Twitter, as well as our Instagram, which photos from which phones you prefer. As you can see on the screen, we have put together a single elimination bracket, meaning that the winner goes on to the next round while the loser is out of the competition. Your votes were, as always, very important in deciding the winners, and we would like to thank you for your participation. And the ones who couldn't participate, go ahead and follow our social media accounts so that you don't miss the chance to vote in the next one. Now, let the results speak. Now that we have all of our phones waiting to prove themselves and their cameras, let's get started. Check out these two photos, and before we move on to the votes and the winner, make a choice on which one you think is a better photo and let us know with a comment on how many of them you got correct at the end of the video. With that out of the way, I can tell you that it was a very close competition between the Oppo Find X6 Pro and the Huawei Mate 50 Pro, in which Oppo slightly overtook Huawei with 53% of the votes. Even though neither of them look perfect, the main reason for this result is most likely the nice amount of blur in the background, courtesy of the 1-inch sensor of the Find X6 Pro. Our preference was a photo taken by the Mate though, so we got the first one wrong. Comparison number 2 had a much more comfortable finish compared to the first one, and the loser is a phone that actually also lost in the first round of our last blind camera test. The winner here will be the Honor Magic 5 Pro, overtaking the iPhone 14 Pro with 68% of the votes. While the iPhone has slightly more detail and better dynamic range, just like our viewers, we also preferred the photo from the Magic due to the nicer colors and appealing photo. Number 3. This one was a bit surprising because I expected the result to be much closer. While the photo on the left has more life in it, the skin texture looks better on the photo on the right. In the end, the OnePlus 11 took this one against the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra with 79% of the votes. I personally think both photos are fine, but the team overall preferred the photo by OnePlus. Now we have a banger, and this was actually painful for me. Both these photos look really good in their own way, and this is because they were both taken by two of the giants in the scene, both having different interpretations. When all was said and done, the Vivo X90 Pro Plus overtook the Google Pixel 7 Pro with more than 50, but less than 51% of the votes. As a Pixel 7 Pro owner, I really like both photos, but I do admire how Vivo's photo looks, especially the background because of the 1-inch sensor. The next one was quite easy, as we can see straight up the red complexion of Sam's skin on the left, as well as the lack of detail in the shadows. The Huawei P60 Pro quickly overtook the Xiaomi 13 Pro here with 85% of the votes, a current record. Lastly, we have two very similar but also very different photos. One is extremely sharp, which is surprising as this is usually the strategy that budget phones take with their software because it's much easier to implement. The other looks quite nice, so it's no surprise that the Xiaomi 13 Ultra wins against the Motorola Edge 40 Pro with 75%. Now let's take a look at the phones that are left. The competition is going to get even tougher as these phones all took pretty good photos in the first round. I'm really curious to see how this will end with the help of the votes of our community, so let's keep going. First up, if you know what my t-shirt is about, then leave a comment and feel free to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. This was another heads up that I expected to be close, but the Honor Magic 5 Pro completely demolished the Oppo Find X6 Pro with 82% of the votes. Very impressed with the ability of Honor to take these detailed photos regardless of the conditions, as Oppo was not able to hang on this time with their photo being slightly too bright. The next one is probably the most surprising one in this competition, not because of the result, because the phone that wins this one is probably a phone that many people didn't expect to come this far. The photo on the right is quite saturated, which becomes obvious when you look at my t-shirt, and that is the reason the photo on the left, taken by the OnePlus 11, will be the winner with 80%, as well as the second phone to move on to the finals alongside the Honor Magic 5 Pro. Lastly, two similar photos in terms of quality. There seems to be a trend in this year's competition, as our community is preferring natural looking photos most of the time. With that in mind, the photo on the left, taken by the Huawei P60 Pro, overtakes the Xiaomi 13 Ultra with 65%. After the second round, we have 3 finalists. The first is the Honor Magic 5 Pro, which has left behind a quite impressive resume in 2023, especially compared to last year's model. The second is the OnePlus 11, a phone that has come out of the gate swinging as one of the best camera phones of this year, once again a much better release than previous versions. Lastly, the Huawei P60 Pro will round out the list, and I would like to congratulate them for not giving up on producing amazing phones after all of the struggles that they've gone through. Which phone will take the crown? Let's take a look at the last photo. Even though I look like a bad boy with this pose, it's actually Casper's bike and I have no idea how to ride one of these. That being said, it is a very cool picture with a bunch of colors as well as a lot of sunlight. We listened to your votes, counted them up, and are now able to tell you the extremely close results of this competition. Third place is the OnePlus 11 with 6.22%. Pretty low as the exposure was really high. And now, the critical moment. Who will take second place in this competition? The honor of the second place spot goes to the Huawei P60 Pro with 46.22%, with the Honor Magic 5 Pro winning the competition with 47.56% of the votes. It was so close that even if you're a fan of the P60 Pro, there's nothing to be sad about because they are both winners in this case. It was a very hard and long fought battle, and we thank each and every one of you for participating in our mid-season camera awards. We will have many more fun and entertaining events like this, so hit that subscribe button to make sure you won't miss them when they come by. Have a great day, and I'll see you around.